Today we launched the first NGO in the country talking about the light pollution.
We conducted a survey of almost 100 lighting companies. I was knowing that what is the need of the lighting industry.
What are your ideas about light pollution? A lot of people don't know that we have an NLC.
So darkness and light both are together. They cannot be separated out. The right light for right application.
So a lot of advice and guidance would be required, sir, from your side.
You know, there is always a good part and bad part of any activity or any item. Unnecessary light means wastage.
नमस्कार, आई एम सो प्राउड कि हमारे साथ लाइटिंग के भीषम पितामह बैठे हुए हैं डॉक्टर प्रकाश बरजातिया, हु इज अ जीबी मेंबर एंड अ डायरेक्टर एजुकेशन and training in our Indian Society of Lighting Engineers, which is one of the oldest associations in the country in the lighting fraternity, lighting field. Okay, and he is also associated with a lot of other associations that we'll slowly take it up when it comes. And he's my guidance, and he's the advisor under whose guidance I have launched this particular NGO, though he's done a lot of research on light pollution, and I'll now hand it over to him to talk further on his journey and what does he think about our organization. Thank you very much. Namaskar ji, Dr. Sahab.
नमस्कार मिस्टर हर्षा जोशी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you जी, thank you very much.
आपने ये जो इनिशिएटिव लिया है,
हाँ जी.
it is much more required in the country because very basic reason. When we talk about the lighting, first comes when there is a dark, then only there is a light.
Absolutely, sir.
So now light and darkness, they cannot be separated out. They are the integral part to each other. Now the question comes that why we are talking so much about the save light or save darkness, something like that. So we have to understand the basics of lighting. That lighting means what exactly? Now lighting per se is the illumination. Now lighting covers the whole spectrum of lighting, which also includes visible and invisible. Whereas illumination talks only about the visible spectrum.
That's a lovely point, sir. Lovely point.
So that's what we are dealing in that one.
Yeah.
And when we are dealing with that one, definitely the role of darkness also comes here. In fact, lighting was not my domain since till 1990. Before that, my subject was lighting, of course, but only as a transport lighting.
Okay.
The lighting which is required in the vehicles and from the road safety point of view.
I think even that requires a lot of changes today with the amount of illumination they're putting up in other people's eyes. So I think you can guide us in that.
So again, I will come to that because I have worked a lot on that only about the vehicular lighting and the road safety.
Absolutely.
Well, light is required in the automobiles to show the path, definitely, but then it should not result in an accident.
Yeah, you can't blind the other person. You can see the path, but don't blind the other person.
This is what related to the darkness and the light.
Absolutely.
Because there you require only a appropriate lighting. It should not be less, it should not be more. Both are dangerous. So that is my background. And that's why when somewhere I recall now that in 1990, of course, so much media was not there. It was only newspapers. At the time I read one appeal or the advertisement about the Prakash 1990. The event, which was, I think,
Prakash 1991.
91.
Yeah.
So, in that they invited the papers on the different aspects of lighting. And one was there about the transport lighting. And with my experience till that time for about almost 20 years in the field of automotive lighting. So it just came to my mind that why not to share my experience on that subject. So I just made a proposal to the ISLE that I would like to make a presentation on headlight and road safety. No, interestingly, it was taken so spontaneously and immediately that it was approved that yes, I have to make a presentation in Prakash 1991.
Good.
And interestingly, which I came to know of course later on,
Okay.
that this was an international conference under the CI, and CI they have got so many divisions. So one of the division 4 is about the transport lighting. And the transport lighting, it so happened that since that area was not much, it was obviously it was a neglected area.
Absolutely, and that too 35 years back.
And then interestingly, when I came to later on, that there was not a single paper on automotive lighting.
Oh, yeah.
And interestingly or incidentally, Dr. Avinash Kulkarni, who also hails from Pune, he was the chairman of that seminar, the Prakash 99 event. And interestingly, his factory path was going through my organization only.
Okay.
So every 3-4 days he used to come, Barjatia, what happened to the paper? I said, sir, I have to hire a darkroom. I have to make a proper study. When I am going to submit a paper, I have to collect the data. And which data has to be authentic. And that's how then, that interest rose to me. Then I made a paper on the headlight and road safety, and that was much appreciated during the Prakash 1991. And since that event was held in Vigyan Bhavan at New Delhi, I was much impressed the way, the quality of the organization and the events and the different forums which are there, national, international, so many participants from the overseas. Then I was much impressed with the Indian Society of Lighting Engineers, and immediately I took a decision and I got the membership. I applied for that, and I got the membership fellow at that time itself.
Absolutely.
And since that time, I am involved in the ICL activities.
Thank you, sir. You spoke about lighting. There are two types of lighting. One is the visible spectrum. Can you explain that? Because I think a lot of people, including people from the lighting industry, don't know what's the difference.
Okay. Lighting per se, it has got a whole spectrum, visible and non-visible, with the different wavelengths. So the wavelengths through which we are able to see the objects.
We means the human rays.
Human rays, definitely. That comes as a illumination or the visible spectrum.
Okay.
And that is used for the human being, for the anybody rather, animals and all that, for the seeing the things. Whereas some of the wavelengths, they are invisible, like infrared, ultraviolet. Now they are not visible.
Okay.
But they are equally a part of the lighting, and they have got a very important role in that. Just as a layman, if you wish, I would like to explain.
Absolutely.
In your houses, we are having this water filter. So that shows that uses the IR in that one.
Okay.
Sorry, ultraviolet. UV. This one is there. Filter is there. So this is used there, but it is not visible.
Okay.
And same thing, infrared also. You may not be, I don't know. Infrared is used much more in the particular military application. In the night time when they fight the war or in the tanks, they use the infrared lighting so that they can see the enemy and see the elements. So like these are just two crude examples I have given you. But then otherwise also in the industry, infrared and ultraviolet, they have got a much bigger role in the different applications, including medical applications. Medical infrared heating, you must have heard it. They are used for the curing the problems, particularly of the old persons and some fractures, that. So like that. So lighting per se, in fact, as a layman, I only say that if there is no light, no life.
Absolutely, totally agreed.
So light is important again in the most ways, visible and invisible. You will say now everybody is using mobile. There also it is a lighting. Without that it cannot be worked, it cannot be used, it cannot be seen in this one. So lighting is for a subject that, but unfortunately I feel that it's a very neglected subject.
But my foundation is basically to get the awareness about the negative aspects of light.
Okay.
Like I say, it's the dark side of light.
Yeah.
So which spectrums are bad for the human beings?
No, dark side means when there is no light, visible light, that is dark side.
Yes.
So all other, whatever spectrum is remaining, that also comes under your dark side, what you said just now. So visible, it is known as illumination, and non-visible, it is known as a lighting. So lighting is the whole spectrum.
So what about the blue light, which is not visible and destroying our eyes?
So again, then there are so many other effects are there of the light that which are detrimental to the human being or even to the animals also. So they are there, very much there. So again, there is a lot of studies are being done in that area also. That is there.
One more thought came in my mind as sound.
Yeah.
You know, a dog can hear maybe 4 times or 5 times the particular, the decibel of the sound or whatever it is, because something which is loud for us is very, very loud for that animal. So there must be different classification of animals who would have different effects of lighting. I mean, whatever colors could be suitable for us also could be harmful for them.
Again, this is a very interesting thing that now you must have heard about Jugnu.
Yes, that's right. My first video was.
Jugnu is a natural light source.
Absolutely, yes.
And which is there. If you go to the villages, the forest and all that, you can enjoy them. And it's a surprise because it's nature. Nature has created them. So there is no light source or no LED, nothing is there.
Absolutely.
But they are visual.
Absolutely.
And there you can enjoy in the night time. So this is what there is. It's a natural phenomena which is there.
So in a couple of my particular videos earlier also I've spoken about the nocturnal creatures.
Very correct.
Okay,
Yes.
who are there in the dark.
Yeah.
Then the bioluminescence, which automatically
Very
happens.
correct. Yes.
It happens in the water, it happens on land.
Yeah.
Different sort of bacteria emit different things. So that is what I'm trying to get awareness. Why do we require too much of light? Why can't we reduce the lighting to good enough? Before the invention of the new modern intrusive lighting, we also had lighting. People lived their life.
This is the reason that I think earlier I mentioned that there is a ignorance about the lighting, and there is no awareness about the lighting.
Yeah.
And why? Because unfortunately, even as and today also, there is no formal education in the field of lighting.
That's very important.
Except in Jadavpur University, there is only one you can say university which is running the PG program in the field of lighting. But again,
Jadavpur
University.
Okay.
But again, they have got only as a illumination engineering, not a whole spectrum. Again, they are not dealing with the whole spectrum.
Only
whole
illumination
lighting.
engineering.
Only illumination. So their course is also PG, post graduation. It is only in the illumination science or illumination engineering, something they call it. And that is of course one of the oldest course which is there. But again, apart from that, there is no formal education in the country. So this is the reason that to bring a more awareness, it's an interesting story. If you got the time, I would like to share.
Yeah, sure, why not?
That somewhere in the year 2006 or so, Mr. Vishwanath Karar, Dr. Vishwanath Karar, who is the founder of and CEO of the MIT group of institutions in
Absolutely,
Pune.
Pune itself, yeah.
Now, that group particularly, MIT group, is known for the non-conventional courses.
Okay.
So in those days there were only either say civil, mechanical, electrical or electronics or chemical, something like that. But then he wanted to go apart from that. So non-conventional courses, he was there very much interested. One example I would like to cite before I go to lighting, that is the only institute in India which is running a course in the School of Government.
Oh, lovely. That's a lovely thing.
Because
and I guess they got a huge campus.
Huge campus. And what is there? School of Government means, now you will laugh on that, but it is there.
I'm laughing for that.
They teach how to become the politician.
Oh my God! I wish.
Now you might have never heard.
Yes.
But this is the vision of Dr. Vishwanath Karar. So he says that we should have something non-conventional courses. And School of Government is one of the 3 universities in the world. India, of course, it is only one. But the one is another is the Kennedy School of Lighting, and one more is there in the UK, I think somewhere. So likewise that. So when this course was there, so similarly, he just having a wish that we should also have something in the field of lighting. So what happened in the year somewhere 2006, they approached the ISLE Delhi office.
Okay.
They just told that we want to start some course in lighting. Delhi office, they just replied that, of course, we have got persons here, but then we have got our person in Pune itself.
Yes.
And then they give my number and all the details to them. So then I was invited by Professor Vishwanath Karar. Then there is group of experts in his college. Then we had a meeting. And then he wished that, yes, I want to start something in the field of lighting.
So nice of him.
So when he said that, he said how to do it. So I just said in that time that yes, you have to, I said that before you must get an idea actually what is needed today in the country. So I suggested that let us have one national workshop. So then we have a national workshop in the vision of lighting education in the country, lighting education research in India, something like that.
Very good.
And then that event was held at MIT Pune only, purely only by invitation. And there were around 80 participants from all over the country, which represented academicians, manufacturers, researchers, designers, including students. So then there was a day-long discussions were there.
Very nice.
It was very interesting, and you can say very senior persons from the lighting industry, they participated in, including Mr. Mamak was there, and then Dr. Kulkarni was there.
Absolutely.
So many big dignitaries were in that one. At the end of the day, it was you can say that concluded that yes, there is a need of proper formal lighting education in the country.
That's very, very important. Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, end of the seminar conference, then Dr. Vishwanath Karar, he immediately declared there itself that MIT will be having a postgraduate program in lighting technology.
Very nice of him. Yeah.
Now he just declared it, okay, and that is over. Then next day he called me, okay, how to do it now? I said, okay, because by that time, since my exposure in the field of lighting last around 10 to 15 years till that time, ISLE, with ISLE. So I was knowing that, interestingly I would like to share, then when I came to ISLE, joined somewhere in 1990 or 91, at that time whenever I used to meet any person, after 2-3 years, same person, so I experienced that he is not in that company. So every time he was finding sometime in Philips, sometime in Bajaj, sometime in Crompton. So I was wondering what is happening that every time I see a person in a different company. Then I visualized that there is a need of proper lighting education, because there is a need of professional lighting professionals. There is a dearth of lighting professionals. That's why the same person is just rotating in different companies.
In fact, sir, I would like to interrupt you. My first company which I launched 41 years back, the company's name was Professional Lighting Private Limited.
Okay, good, nice.
So from there I derived the brand that I'm with.
So that's why when Dr. Vishwanath Karar mentioned that what to do, then I suggested to him that after a long time discussion, now what we need a, you can say a course which will be techno manager, not only technical.
Okay.
So then after a lot of discussion, we decided, we framed some syllabus for that one, we sent it to Elcoma for their revision, and then that course was the first time in the country, techno managerial courses, industry oriented, one thing, that what is the need of the industry, because my involvement in ISLE for 15 years till that time, 16 years, I was knowing that what is the need of the lighting industry.
Absolutely.
So then, not only that, because before designing the course also, we conducted a survey of almost 100 companies, lighting companies,
okay,
with the questionnaire that what type of professionals they are employing in their company, whether they are having a formal education in lighting or what is their background, and whether if we launch any specific course in lighting, are they going to take up our students?
That's very important.
Now with all that, about 100 companies, we did the survey, proper survey, we analyzed it, and then at the end of the day we designed a course, Techno Manager 2 years postgraduate program in lighting technology.
Absolutely.
And then it was launched in 2007, on the, I think, 8th of August or something like that.
So it's been 18 years.
So,
now, one more topic that really comes to mind, because a lot of people don't know that we have an NLC. We had an NLC and now we have revised the NLC, and NLC is the National Lighting Code of India. You have been advising the government on that particular effect. What do you think about the NLC and the implementation?
well, National Lighting Code story is also the similar way. When first lighting in NLC was made, of
That
course,
is 2010.
2010, yes, and that work was assigned to the ICLE, and it was being headed by what is his name?
It's okay.
Okay, I forgot his name. He was the person, he is no more now, of course. He was the president of ICLE some time back, Mr. Mukhopadhyay or something. Oh no, sorry, I do not remember that.
Yeah.
Then he made at that time first National Lighting Code, and since my you can say subject was lighting, also in the field of transport lighting, at that time also I suggested him to include a chapter on the transport lighting. And I said that because of from the road safety point of view, that is very important. That should be
Absolutely,
there.
because you're throwing so much light
But
on the other
again,
drivers.
unfortunately, it was not accepted. It did not include. So okay, anyway, it was a start. And then first issue of the National Lighting Code was launched in somewhere in 2000 with some limited applications and all that.
And now they've revised it a month back.
And now a revision came, that also came in 2020, of course, or 18 or 19 it came to the ICLE. Of course, again it came to ICLE, and I must compliment Dr. Mandal, Rajat Mandal, who was the honorary secretary of ICLE in those days. So he was taken, he has taken that responsibility. Not only that, in fact, me approached BIS कि this activity has to be taken as a project. And then we suggested, we made a proposal given to the BIS, they accepted to make it a proper system. And then with a very hard work and elaborative work, Dr. Mandal included almost all sorts of lighting in that one, visible, invisible and all that. And then again it was submitted to BIS around I think 3 to 4 years back. But you know what happens that this is the, you can say, lacuna in our country, that work is given to some committee which deals only in illumination, and that is to the road illumination or this one. They have got, now because of the BIS, structure is like that, for transport lighting they have got a different committee, TD 11. And this is AETD 49 or 23, something like that. So when the question came again about the transport lighting, Dr. Mandal could not get any expert. Ultimately he said, Barjata, you only, if you can write, it's better you write a chapter. So with my experience and expertise, I wrote a complete chapter on that one. It was submitted to BIS. But again, there is a very short vision of this. Again, BIS, I should not, of course, blame them, but then there is a vision, limited vision. They did not include so many chapters which Dr. Mandal included, which is hard work. And only with the, as per their vision, whatever they felt, they have included. And again, first version, again it took almost 4 to 5 years for their finalization. And okay, now it has come only about a month back or so.
A month back it's been released.
Month back only it has been launched. Anyway, it's a good thing.
They've added a lot of other chapters. Sir, what about my particular role in this light pollution? What are your ideas about light pollution, and have you done any written anything about it, or you spoken about it previously?
Well, anyway, see, as I said you in the beginning itself, that light is only acquired with the darkness. So darkness and light both are together. They cannot be separated out. But what is happening that as and way the awareness is coming, and because of the, there is always a good part and bad part of the any activity or any item. When LED came, of course, it is having a very good, it's now you can say very cheap, it's energy efficient, so many benefits are there. But again, because it's cheap and it's very efficient, Now misuse is being started.
That's the awareness I want to bring about.
Because I remember earlier you can say logo was there, the right light for right application.
Right light for
right
application.
Because at that time, there were so many light sources were there. Halogen light, this yellow light, white light, something before LED came. So there were a lot of different type of lights were there, and then for different applications, different lighting sources were being used. So that's why they're there, right light for right application. So after LED coming there now in source, now it is being misused, and then considering the importance of the pollution, I remember now, there was one seminar which was conference or the national conference, which was conducted even in MIT only, somewhere in the year 2008 or 9 or something like that. And it was again on the, you can say, ergonomics or eco-friendly lighting, something like that. So again I was approached there, and then my first paper was made in the year 2008 on the pollution due to lighting. That we are talking about lighting should be there, it's a good thing, but then it also creates the pollution, and which is one of the major area of concerns globally. So this is what, from that onwards, 2008 onwards, I think so far I must have presented more than 60 to 70 presentations on pollution due to lighting, and again I added something more. Last 8 to 10 years you must be seeing that another word, sustainability, is being very aggressively. Everybody is talking about sustainability. So then I just added this word also, sustainability and pollution due to lighting. Because that is also equally important from that point of view.
See how important it is, sir. 17 years back, he's already spoken about light pollution a couple of times. And today we launched the first NGO in the country talking about the light pollution, because today it's become too much. I mean, the advertisement lights, everything is hitting your eye, and it becomes risky for yourself and for other people on the road, or whether night sleep, human-centric lighting. They've included human-centric lighting now.
Correct.
They've also included some aspects of adverse effects of lighting, which is indirectly something to do with light pollution in the National Lighting Code now.
Correct.
So it's good the government is taking these particular topics. So a lot of advice and guidance would be required, sir, from your side, and thank you very much for being on the advisory board. Dr. Prakash is also associated with a lot of other organizations like ASOCHEM and other particular companies. So thank you very much, sir, for being here. Any other things you want to add?
Since I have not gone through the revised National Lighting Code, I'm not aware whether
the print is not yet out. I'll send you
whether there is a chapter on the pollution due to light or not.
Yeah, there is a chapter. They've called it. Even I have not gone through it, but the heading is adverse effects of lighting.
Okay. So adverse effects of lighting is another thing.
Okay.
Pollution due to lighting is another, because this is now a global phenomenon. Means globally they are more worried about this one, pollution due to lighting. And because of that, even so many countries, because LED has come later on, even before that also so many countries, they banned the manufacturing of the filament lamps in those days because of the pollution problem. So pollution, adverse effect, as you say, okay, that is one area, but then pollution due to lighting is also equally important, and that also should be there as a, means I wish it is there, or if it is not there, it should be part of
it should be included in that particular thing at all.
In fact, I only wish that since we are talking about National Lighting Code, what Dr. Mandal and me were for the revision, we just took the guidance from the ISNA handbook. That whatever ISNA has covered, we tried to cover all the aspects in that. And that's why we covered transport lighting, they kind of covered air lighting, hopefully I think they also covered the train lighting. Similarly, we also included the transport lighting, but they did not find it suitable for their, as per their vision or whatever is there. So anyway, let us hope that sometime they may think and they may include now in the revision.
So in the end, we are from the lighting industry itself. We are not against lighting, but we are saying to use the lighting in the right proper way, at the right proper place, and the color temperatures, what you need. And my advice to all the big project people and everybody is to use a lighting designer and a lighting consultant, because they know your things would look different. You spend so much of money in artifacts and other particular things, and if you use the right lighting, you will get the right value out of it, or the look and feel out of it, including your interiors. So my job is to make people aware what sort of lighting should be used and how much lighting has to be used.
For that, I just like to add it there, because that is my vision for last, you can say, almost 25 years. That in the US, that anybody wants to practice as a lighting designer, they have to undergo a certain exam. There is NCQLP, National Lighting Qualifying Lighting Professionals. So just anybody cannot start the practice of lighting designer.
Oh, lovely.
They have to pass that exam minimum. And that's why my vision is there for last 15 to 20 years I am trying. That in our country also we should start something like that.
That's
similar
lovely.
lines. Because now today what is happening, since we use our lighting design, so now any Tom, Dick and Harry, he knows about the lux and lumen, he says I am a lighting designer.
Absolutely.
And that's why in the building industry now, I come to that one, even very big projects, they always used to consider lighting as a part of electrical engineering.
Okay.
They never considered that is a specialization subject. So that's why I wish that in our country we can also start the similar thing, starting some sort of a examination. So we certify the lighting designers, and then only they can start the designing of the lighting, proper designing of the lighting. This is what my wish is there.
Even I wish the same, because for every particular subject you have an expert. So why don't go to the
lighting
expert?
design is very important subject.
So even for automobile lightings.
And specifically it has come more important because of coming after LED. Earlier lighting was perceived, we have to find out the place where to put the light. Now we have to find out where is the light.
Yes.
It's so invisible, you can put anywhere, even underground or something like that, and light is visible. Earlier we have to find the place, to bulb kahan par lagana, tube kahan par lagani. So because of this, now this designing, it has become more important. And then we should have definitely in our country a course on the lighting design, specifically which should be approved by Government of India from the safety point of view, security point of view. All these things are important.
So as a senior person with 40 years experience in automobile lighting, how do you think we can get the automobile manufacturers to use the right lamp? There must be studies, because most of the cars are designed, and they might be manufactured in India, but the design and all comes from Japan, Korea, America, or other European countries. So there must be people working under this, what color temperature they have to use, how much illumination is there. But in India, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Last 2 weeks back, I was in Indore, and there was a person on a motorcycle behind. I was not driving the car, luckily. A friend of mine was driving. I was sitting on the next to him. And the illumination from that one motorcycle was so much that I'll be presenting a video in my particular safedarkness.org, that I couldn't see anything. And when I reversed the camera and saw my face, I was full of light through the rear view. So he must have gone to some local mechanic and he must have replaced that lamp. And बोला मेरे को powerful वाला light चाहिए. मेरे को सामने वाले को अंधा करना है.
Correct. Now, a very relevant question which you put now. Why? Because, for other light, of course, in India today, there is no legislation. Now, National Lighting Code is only advisory. Even the IS also, whatever is there under lighting, interior lighting, also outdoor lighting and all that, they are all only as a advisory. They are not mandatory by any law in the country.
Absolutely.
Okay? That is the one thing. But for automotive lighting, since it also involves the road safety, so again there is a central motor vehicle rules is there. And in the central motor vehicle rules, whatever is the illumination level is required, light intensity is required, from which direction, these are all very much defined in the CMVR, Central Motor Vehicle Rules. And I was a part of that committee when I was in service in CRT. I was representing the CMVR committee and AISC committee, which are making the rules for the road, this automotive lighting. Now, just now you mentioned this is what is happening because rules are there, but as you know, I think, I'm sorry to say, but in our country, implementation is very poor. So this might have been one of the reasons, because there the maximum, what should be the intensity of lighting is defined very clearly for two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, tail lamp, headlamp, all these things are very defined. But if it is not implemented and checked properly, then we are the sufferer, and it also causes the accidents. Now, what example you mentioned just now, incidents, same thing is that I am facing, that in the two-wheelers they are having so much bright white light now.
Everybody must be facing. If I am facing it on the road, everybody is facing.
Again, there is a reason. So, because their provision is there, rules are there, but they are not being implemented properly. That is the reason.
So thank you for your particular knowledge that we have a particular body that regulates all this.
Yes,
Now talking about this, when you're regulating the light which has to be installed in a vehicle, because of road safety.
Yes.
What about the lights unnecessarily which are installed in a dhaba on the highway? It's absolutely dark, and suddenly out of the blue, to attract customers to his dhaba,
very correct,
he'll be putting light directly into your face, and you might have an accident. Something might happen to you or not, but you would injure somebody else.
So
that's also on the road. That's also for road safety.
So there should also be, government should consider and they make some minimum rules for that one. How much is the light is required, how much should be there. So both from the safety point of view, I will say again national saving also.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely
unnecessary light means wastage.
Yes, you say we save energy and then we work it.
Yeah, again you say
we just keep it on whole night. Then what energy have you saved? Okay, that was my point.
What the important thing is that.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Saab, if you can say a couple of words about yourself and bless me for my foundation.
So nice of you, and I definitely wish you all the best, you and your team, that you have taken this initiative to bring in even the knowledge about the darkness. Nobody was knowing. So let us work on that one. So when there is a light, darkness is definitely we will be working towards the lighting also, that one. So illumination. And wish you all the best.
Such a lovely day. Namaskar. Thank you very much.
बहुत धन्यवाद आपका और शुभकामनाएं.
Okay guys, so you have heard Dr. Saab speak about his experience and everything. So I please request you to visit our site www.savedarkness.org. We'll keep on updating you on what is happening. We've just started and we need everybody's support to take the journey forward. Namaskar. Thank you.